Winfred here for every 3 Estia Province blue team. Couple of Warlocks. First up is Lomors. This is the same hand elite scheme. And we also have Lolgar. These guys are melee spellcasters, can leap into combat, bringing you lots of disruption and some good support too. Alongside and in between is the great Cornholio as a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and destructive commander. Lots of game manipulation and control abilities. Begins in melee combat. Red team, couple of Lictor alphas. First up is JACKA-VC. And we also have Entwined by Vengeance. These guys are melee specialists that can infiltrate and disrupt. Some awesome offense and a little bit of support too. And in between, rounding off the teams here, Brother Hex as a force commander. Very good offense, fights in melee combat. Can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. Blood Angels elite scheme. Just heard those doom bolts going off. Lomors have caught the Sorcerer though. He's kind of isolated here. Some Tzeentch worship, infiltrating those CSM, going to hang back. Maybe support this west side. Warlock versus Lictor Alpha is pretty interesting. I wonder if that Warlock leap kind of soft counters the flesh hook. Because if you can jump on him before he hooks, he can't really do much else. Might not happen early on though, because you can't see him. There we go. Pulls him off the cap. As you can see, the pull strength is far less than it used to be. Howling Banshees now moving in, but those are double Hormagaunts. With the Lictor backing them up, Banshees don't really want that fight, I don't think. No, they're backing off there. Lomors doing a smart thing. Would have been very tempted to try and stay and kill that Hormagaunt brood who got away. Spore Mines on the field for Entwined by Vengeance, alongside some Tactical Marines who did take some of the damage over time from those guys. They do friendly fire. Big retreat out by Lolgar. Can his guys push up and harass Power? No, they can't, because Cornholio is here and they don't really know exactly where because of this infiltration. They don't really want to engage, I don't think. Straight into Havocs most likely for Cornholio, but we'll see. Hormagaunts on Power here. There's that Destructor flying in from the Warlock. This is starting ability. Does 2 bolts of psychic damage. Leaping after those guys. No, oh, here we go. Here's an aspect of strength for the Banshees. I thought that was a late aspect, not seen it yet. What about these guys? They don't have their aspect yet. Why not? What have you spent your power on? I guess nothing. Maybe he wants a Guardian Weapon team up first. Devastators for Brother Hex, and it's Noise Marines for the Great Cornholio. Try and keep them isolated from the rest of your army, so if the Force Commander goes after them, you can just knock him over with Cacophony. Spore Mines went off on these Banshees. That was that green crap you saw. Looks like they've been dealt with though. Ravener Brood now on the way for Entwined. Force Commander using his battle cry to keep that Sorcerer knocked over. Not really going to do a huge amount of damage though. Just waiting for these Devastators to move in, I think. Needs to be careful. Going to try and force melee combat on him, and he did, and he almost got him. Might be able to, but Devastators I think are going to set up. Try to finish him off with the Doom Bolts. Nice idea, but he does get away with 24 hit points and is caught in that firing arc. Needs to retreat out. Might get that VP decap now. What's a Lictor up to? He's being sneaky, isn't he? These guys going for the garrison, I think. Are they? Nope. They're hanging out. Lolgar. Oh, he went for the Immolator early on. That's where his power went. Reinforcing his Banshees now. Noise Marines hitting the field. That Sonic Blaster disabling ranged weapons and abilities after a few seconds. Also some pretty good damage in general. Can shut down 2 broods of Termagants if they're nicely positioned for your Sonic Blaster. Heretics there with their aspiring champion getting knocked back by the Ravener Brood who came in just to facilitate the escape of the Termagants. I think didn't want them retreating while Heretics were hacking at them. Retreating units taking 30% more damage from melee attacks. Devastator still back here, ready to do that, giving the Tactical Marines a position to fall back to, always useful. JACKA-VC on this west side. Flesh hooking something. Oh, it's just a Dire Avenger model, I think. Oh, it was the Dire Avenger Warlock leader fella. I guess he's just the Exarch, isn't he? Not a Warlock. There's that Cacophony, shutting down the mobility of that Force Commander. Although he can use Battle Cry to stop that knockdown happening, I believe. Getting his Iron Halo so he can stay in fights a lot longer. Gives you really great sustain, especially alongside that Artificer armor, which also gives you more energy, I believe, so it powers your shield for a bit longer. There's a nice hook. Need something set up though to take advantage of those hooks. I think you don't want to hook just because you can. Not nearly as strong as it was, so you want those Hormagaunts in a position to take advantage. Rather than Brood now beginning with those ranged Devourers. Hormagaunts with adrenal glands up and double termagants all fully upgraded. Tier 2 though for Lolgar and Great Cornholio with some Havocs up. A bit later than I would have thought. Maybe he was thinking about going for really early Blood Crusher, but decided against it. Decided to get some Havocs up in Tier 1. Warlock leaping into the Spore Mines. He's also gone for the Immolator over here. Has Lomors. Not sure what Lolgar's thinking going Tier 2 so early. We'll see. Maybe an early Wraith Guard against that blob of ranged Tyranids over by the east side from Entwined. What is that? That's the toxin thing. Miasma. Or is it miasma? One of those. Debuff speed and damage. And does some damage over time, I think. Not a lot of damage over time though. Howling Banshees making that guy leave with their Whale. Or Washout. 415, 462. Pretty even on VPs, but red team are pressuring the mid here. We're seeing much more pressure in the mid than you would usually see early on. Usually you see the pressure on the flank where the power is. But looks like they want those VPs. Is this Artifice? Of course it is. Yeah, it gives you a little bit more energy too. Marines did drop a model there. Are they really achieving much with these pushes, the red team? Haven't really seen them touch this power that much. Lots of melee attacks on retreat on those Banshees, but they can jump over the wall there because of their aspect of fleetness. That was pretty damn useful on the retreat there. These guys do have their grenade and their Exarch, so they're fully upgraded. Lomors dropping one of his Direwolf squads, goes Tier 2. It is Wraith Guard from Lolgar. Was expecting him to actually save up for the Wraith Lord there, since he was in a pretty decent position in terms of resources, I thought. But he's gone for the Wraith Guard. Could get double Wraith Guard up, which is pretty damn devastating if you stand around. But he is up against a Force Commander who can teleport in and deal with that, and deal with the Wraith Guard. He's gone for the Thunderhammer. Needs to replace the Iron Halo if he wants to teleport, of course. There it is, going up. Causes you to lose energy instead of health at a pretty good ratio. Does it tell me the ratio here? Yeah, 5-to-1 ratio. Different shields have different ratios, I think. Plasma Cannon on the way for Brother Hex. Jacka with just double termagants now. Tyrant Guard on the way though. What's going on over here? What are you firing at? Oh, the contested power in the mid. Now trying to get this Force Commander off the field. Tier 2 is when he really comes online and becomes the powerhouse he can be. Still level 1 though, this guy. So they've at least stopped him getting a huge amount of kills in Tier 1. Lictor Alpha getting stuck into some Banshees. Talk about a huge amount of kills. This guy's level 2. Doesn't have any War Gear yet. Warrior Brood on the way for Jacka. Venom Brood for Vengeance. Just wants that range synapse, I think, more than expecting a vehicle. There's the Wraith Guard with their Spirit Seal Warlock fella, giving them a bit of a speed boost. Havoc's coming out of infiltration to suppress those Devastators. Nicely done. Sorcerer getting in there with his Vestments of the Warp. And these Havocs are not retreating. They refuse to. Look at this. What's going on? Uh-oh, indeed. Scout Squad with Shotgun and Sergeant. This is impossible. Dawn of War 2 has no bugs. Aside from Tyranids. There's the Tyrant Guard. Got Haywide, which shuts down his attacks as well as slowing him, which is pretty bad news for a Tyrant Guard. You're already pretty slow, especially outside of Synapse. Looks like the Havocs did eventually get off the field and retreat. There we go. The Sorcerer going toe-to-toe with the Tyrant Guard. Not generally a good idea. Did some damage and got the hell out of there, barely. Now Banshee's moving in with their power weapons. They're certainly doing some good damage to that Tyrant Guard. Now he goes into Shield Wall. And these ladies do not have their Exarch. Oh, there she is. They do have their Exarch, I'm lying. And they're going to take it down, I think. Yeah, definitely, with the Haywire going in. So Jacka kind of struggling on his west side. Needs some help. And here comes the help in the form of Brother Hex and a bunch of Marines. These tacks with their Sergeant giving him some more range damage. He actually does more range damage with his bolt pistol than those regular models do with their bolters, I believe. Or bolt guns, whatever you want to call them. Nicely done by Brother Hex, spotting the Havocs and getting in there quickly with his Thunderhammer. What's the DPS on this thing again? 62.5 power melee DPS with a catastrophic special attack, which you can of course make happen pretty consistently with your battle cry. 360 knockback, big damage on that thing. Power bash, first concerted effort I've seen to bash power over here, and we've seen barely any approach up on the opposite side towards the red team's power. Here's the Venom Brood. I think they need to get out of there though. Eldar on the front foot, which is not how you want to fight them. 408 to 349. Banshees though, getting a bit too isolated. Didn't bring the Shuriken up with them. Didn't count on the Toxin Sacks being in play. That's the Termagant Brood with Endless Swarm. Web way over here to help this Warlock of Lomors to get into combat a bit easier. Still got those Warp Spiders, Banshees and Dire Avengers, so both players on that west side taking losses. Chaos Dreadnought of Great Cornholio might need to get out of trouble here. Was taking a lot of damage by the advanced targeting vengeance rounds as he got close. Looks like the Dreadnought is going to go down, in fact. Not sure why it wasn't going out of trouble, if there was a bug or something. There are no bugs in Dawn of War 2. Nice special from the Warlock, sending those Adrenal Gland Warrior Brood flying. Giving them melee synapse, of course, to those double Hormagaunts, but they're in trouble here. Don't really want to fight Banshees unless they've got a lot of support. And Banshees mopping up there. Have done well so far, almost level 3. And looks like blue team are going to take this west side pretty even on VPs as players start to think about tier 3. In fact, Brother Hex is in tier 3. Entwined just went tier 3. Talk about starting to think about it. They're in there. There's only 2 gens over here, so maybe there was a bash by Lolgar, who's got this Wraith Guard under attack from the Lictor Alpha, but they know the Shuriken's there to help him out with some suppression. See that little red debuff circle? That was from the Corrosive Claws, debuffing their resistance for 5 seconds, which is pretty cool. I'm assuming that stacks duration and not the debuff itself. Deadly jump also, which is pretty awesome. What is the Lictor Alpha up to? Getting way too isolated and close to these Banshees. Might need to pull back now. Still wants to get his DPS in, but stay at arm's length from the Shuriken. Not a good approach for the Hormagaunts. Not a good approach. Gonna get suppressed. I need to run away. There we go. West side is still blue, but Tyranids just ate a bunch of stuff. That was Havocs, I think. Yeah, of Cornholio. Oh, Cornholio's floating quite a lot of resources here. Could go tier 3. Might be thinking about getting another Dreadnought or something out. It's gone tier 3. It's gone for it. So everyone's either gone tier 3 or going. All of red team are there. So the blue team are going to need to start thinking about countering monstrous creatures. 1-to-1 cap. Warlock revives Warlock. That's going to level him to 5, I think. Some Mark of Corn CSM for Cornholio into these generators. And there's that deadly jump. I think he spotted it really early there and got out of there. What are you buffed by, Lictor Alpha? Is that your Stalk Global? Which makes his damage crazy, I think. That might be that. 386, 315. Those Marines do have their Blastmaster. Would be a good tool to use on this west side. Of course, Guana doesn't have his teleporter yet. Red team looking pretty strong over here, though. He's chasing down those Warp Spiders who got into all sorts of trouble with a bunch of Tyranids eating the crap out of them, barely getting out with their teleport. It's a pretty lucky escape, I think. These Dire Avengers are now in all sorts of trouble. But they, too, somehow get out of there. Slippery, sneaky Eldar. Zinch Shrine, not going to last much longer. It was a nice idea, but they didn't really have time to set up their position as much as they wanted the blue team over here. Red team didn't waste any time getting in. Seer Council on the way for Lomors now. That'll certainly give that Warrior Brood something to think about. Can passively buff the Banshees as well, giving them some range damage resistance. They also give themselves that range damage resistance, which is pretty cool. 15% I think it is. Sorcerer trying to lead the line here. But was that a pull? What was that? Yeah, that was a pull, I think, from the Lictor Alpha. He's kind of hiding in here. Lost the indicator for him. He's level 3. Sorcerer did go down, but should get revived relatively easily from there. Banshees not getting into combat. Bit of a misplay from Lomors. Is he waiting for the Seer Council, maybe? Yeah, I don't think he wanted to engage with that Thunderhammer there. Big fighting on this west side. Red team have it locked up. Got heavy bolter devs and plasma cannon devs. Banshee's getting caught out of position there. Blastmaster's shot does what? Nice hit on those Marines. They've used and they shall know no fear. But now they retreat out of there. The Sorcerer wouldn't have known that those devs are there when he teleported in. Now it's Lomors trying to get his warp spiders to teleport in, but looks like they were getting disrupted. Yeah, very strangely split up here. Now they're tying up these fellas though, and get them off the field. Nicely done, blue team. They stuck it out. Selected their targets relatively well. Seer Council making a big difference, I think. Look at the damage they did to the Force Commander. Just a few swings there on retreat. Monstrous creatures though hitting the field. JACKA-VC with a Carnifex on the way. What is this? Tyranid trying to decap. Ouch. Big burst of range damage. They need a way to get in on them quickly. Raptors wouldn't go amiss from Cornholio, I think. Especially with those double devastators on that west side. And of course, with the Sorcerer, he can warp them out of trouble. But he's going for his Predator tank, and you can't really blame him. Estia Province, great map for tanks. And if you can get one, you usually want to get one. Might keep it without a mark until he can get another tank up. 2-1 here for the blue team. Very, very close on VPs. That is a nice immolate on a big blob of Tyranids. It is damaging those Banshees as well, though. But I don't think they dropped them. I did drop one model. Land Raider Redeemer on the way for Brother Hex. That is bad, bad news for blue team. But with double Eldar, potentially double Eldritch Storms, they could approach the Land Raider, double storm it, and finish it off. And I think that is worth 2 storms. Witchblade of Kernus doing its thing with the Ethereal Slash. Also has Providence. It's going to be a very powerful Warlock late game. Thornback Carnifex in play. 1650 hit points to level 1. There's Providence active on the Warlock. He's not spamming his Ethereal Slash though, which is what you usually see. There's another. Oh, we both have it, I think. Yeah, well, this guy only has the Witchblade. Doesn't have the Providence. Tank now getting shots in. He's gone for Mark of Khorne, buffing the damage of all of the weapons. Avatar of Cain on the way for Lolgar. Lomors Seal Council have got a bunch of XP. We've got a Swarm Lord and a Land Raider Redeemer though, and look at the resources Brother Hex is floating. Wow, he must have preserved his stuff really well. Over 1,000 requisition. Lictor Alpha getting the cap. Zinchi Shrine goes up. That will be able to shoot over that barricade wall there, that support wall. There's that Swarm Lord support, super unit for Tyranids. Has some great support though with a speed and reinforcement synapse, just making the Sordo's Wraithguard get off the field before he pulls out. Sorcerer with Rod of Warpfire can set up pushes with that. Take a Devastator squad out of the game for a few seconds. A few vital seconds as you get in. So you can teleport on one Devastator squad and then Warpfire the other. Although he'd be perilously close to this Land Raider if he did that. Starting to mobilize on this west side, the blue team. Might need all 3 of them over here. Here's the Avatar of Cain. See Lolgar floating around the middle ready to react. He's going to need to react to this west side, I think. 271, 254, 2-1 cap. 4 red. They have this contested. Nobody's destroying this capillary tower for some free red resource. There we go. I think the Predator tank spotted it. Yeah. Here comes a bunch of Eldar, buffed by the Avatar of Cain, and that buff does affect allies, I'm pretty sure. They've definitely seen it now because of that Lictor. Might get a massive 3v3 fight here. Go, says Lolgar, bringing in the Avatar to take the brunt of the damage. There's that Land Raider Redeemer. Let's see how this plays out. I hear an Eldritch. There it is. Few good hits on the Land Raider. Now it's shut down. Can they take advantage here? Avatar taking a lot of damage. That's a second Eldritch. They need to push and finish off this Land Raider. The tank is trying to do so. Should have come from closer to the west side though, maybe. But he's done it. That Land Raider is going to go down. I think one more shot. Down it goes. And I think that was worth. Sorcerer trying to get in and decap, but he got in all sorts of trouble there. Warlock also the same. They did get the decap, in fact. Well done. They were actually going for a full cap. Providence from the Warlock. Assault Terminators hit the field in there. Tornado formation went off, as you saw. Land Raider perhaps a bit far forward. I mean, why have it at the front of your army? Why give the enemy that target? Especially, you know, when you're up against double Eldar. Brother Hex had a really bad engagement there. He's down to 3 units. Lost his Marines, which must have been leveled up. Devastators, and now an Assault Terminator squad. Avatar of Cain back to base to safely heal up. These are Lightning Claw Terminators for Cornholio, and they will rip apart any infantry they can get their hands on. Even these Assault Terminators, because they don't have their Lightning Claws, they have their hammers. Taking out this Force Commander here. Not sure why he didn't leave. Maybe he was path blocked by the Terminators. 215, 254. I think he's happy to be relatively aggressive with the Terminators, knowing that he can warp them out. There we go. Warping them back to base, and he didn't drop a model either. Kane's also back at base healing. Good. A good passage of play, I think, from the blue team. They called their shot and they took it. Warrior Brood gonna get away, I think. Barely, but they did get away. Witchblade of Cronus now has what, 71.43 power melee DPS. Not bad at all. Used to have quite a fair bit less than that, I think. Fire Prisms hitting the field. This is Lomors on its west side. Great for stopping caps, of course, with its dispersed shot. Focus shot better for larger targets. Boom. Big chunk of damage off those Ravenous. Warlock level 7 takes a plasma cannon hit. Red team still have this west side. It was a good push from the blue team, but they couldn't hold on to this west side with it. That's a Thornback Carnifex. Where's the Swarm Lord of Entwined? He's back at base. He's healed up though. What is this? Sneaky Warlock from Lolgar using a very hidden webway. In fact, he was just up there to get line of sight to put it down, I think. He didn't actually use it. Still being built. Or willed into existence, or whatever the hell it is Eldar do with their things. Swarm Lord ignoring that Warlock, who's going to go for the decap. He might get it too. It's a Venom Cannon Carnifex for Entwined, who's preserved his army pretty damn well here. Don't think he's actually lost anything. I don't think he got anything after the Venom Brood. He went straight to the Swarm Lord. Avatar should be chopping away at the Raveners, I think. But he wants that Swarm Lord. There's a Wailing Doom. Is that going to do anything to this guy? Did a decent amount. Actually knocked his Guardian weapon team clear. Might have saved him from the Swarm Lord there. 162, 251 kicking off on the west side. Blue team trying to get its VP back. But they have both the naturals. Warlock was able to finish that cap on red team's natural. Going to chase down this Carnifex for sure. Yeah, down it goes. Tank has been used really well so far by Cornholio, level 3. Got a Lightning Claw Terminators too. Have a nice varied army over here, the blue team. Mark of Corn CSM level 3. We have Lightning Claw Terminators, a tank, a Fire Prism. The Seer Council is still around as well. Level 3 Seer Council, 3,300 hit points. That's pretty scary, given their mobility and their damage. Warlock needs to be careful. Run away, Mr. Warlock. Does he have the warp throw? Yes. There it is. But you think he stayed in that engagement way too long. Gonna die, most likely. Yep. Blue team are taking the west side now. Brother Hex has recovered with Stone Guard veterans and another devastator plasma cannon. Lictor Alpha getting the kill. He's got the Lone Hunter level 6 now with Deadly Jump, and Scything Talons 2 is a real threat if he's isolated. Cap, says Lomors. The blue team did not cap this west side. What is that? What are they up to? Terminator's here idle. Not sure what Cornholio is looking at. Maybe his CSM got into a fight. Bioplasma nicely hit. Didn't do a lot of damage, but the disruption is always nice. That is a crazy special from a Lictor, and another one. Here comes that Swarm Lord taking Bright Lance hits and trying to get that thing off the field as soon as possible. Avatar now needs to be careful. There's that Leech Essence from the Swarm Lord, heating him up in the field. They're committing quite hard to this push here with the Toronto formation too. But they're not going to decap, that's for sure. All the capping units are away and retreated off. Blue team did not cap the west side. Big misplay over here. Not sure what happened. Maybe they were knocked off it by a plasma cannon shot or something. Not sure what went on. It's a pretty frantic fight. We have a Genestealer Brood on the field for JACKA, with their Rending Talons, Rending Claws even. And Lightning Claw Assault Terminators now for Brother Hex. They're trying to fight that Providence Eldar who takes out that Genestealer Brood. Not sure how he managed that. Or maybe it was the Shrine. Seemed to be in the middle of his ethereal slash animation when it died. So losses on both sides in that engagement, but is he going to try and cap it? I think he can cap. You're right at the edge of the firing arc, and you have the Fire Prism to knock him over too. Big shot there from the Fire Prism. Stone Guard veterans with their Kraken rounds loaded in. Looks like they should have their Vengeance rounds loaded in if they want to fight a Predator. Warlock is getting a cap here. 162-221. Wraith Guard still in play. What level are you guys now? Level 2 with the Wraith Bone. That was Terminators teleporting somewhere. Over here. Knows he can be aggressive with that teleport. Trying to get to the Venom Brood most likely, but they are slowed down like crazy by the Termagants there. Seem to be completely locked down in their movement. 162-206. Lightning Claw Terminators are going to be warped out. Didn't achieve a whole lot, but they did push the Red Armies back there. Down goes that tank. He had to choose between his tank and his Terminators. He chose the Terminators. So I'm sure they wanted to get on that VP, but couldn't quite manage it. These Wraith Guard in a really bad position here. Certainly don't want to be fighting Genestealers in melee combat. That Raining Doom's going to miss everything apart from your own units. Misplay there from Lolgar. But those guys did have to back off. So he saved them in the end. Warp Spiders are what? Level 4 Warp Spiders now. I don't think blue team are really set up for this fight. They might want to pull away. Something died really fast. That's a really nice Kane's Wrath. Really nice Kane's Wrath. Knockback, suppression and damage. Pretty powerful knockback. They need to get on that Warrior Brood and start stripping those models down. Get those Synapse Bombs to go off. Warlock with Ethereal Slash. Big threat to those big blobs of Tyranids. Stone Guard veterans switching to Dragonfire rounds, which is weird. Dragonfire rounds are used against units in cover and garrisons. That is a Markov... Oh well. I was going to say Markov Zinch Nuke, but that was an Imperial Abyss from Cornholio from the realm of Zinch, which just wiped out a Banshee squad. Well, hey. It's all part of a great plan. Those Banshees needed to die. 162 to 145, 2-1 cap for blue team. Lomors responding with some more Seer Council. I guess he lost the ones he had. D-Cannon with a Singularity to pull this off the cap. This Lictor Alpha here. He did get a D-cap though. There it is. Great unclean one on the way for Great Cornholio. What is this? Oh, Tome of Subjugation's up. Uses some Termagants. Wailing Doom. hitting some allied units. A little bit of disagreement between the Eldar and the Chaos Space Marines here. An uneasy alliance. What is this? So, late Guardian Weapon Team from Lolgar. Avatar of Cain is hanging around mid at like half hit points. That's pretty dangerous to do. Terminators versus Terminators. Now, these guys will have more hit points. No, they have the same hit points, of course. They lose the hit points when they switch out of their Storm Shields. Power Fist Force Commander's in play, level 7, with Teleporter 2. I'm not sure why he switched out of his hammer. Maybe he wants to go for that Fire Prism on the west side. Big push by red team. Whirlwind moving up. We've got Terminators, we've got Gene Stealers, we've got Carnifex, Raveners. Don't think the blue team can hold. Don't think they can. Going to be a nice Wailing Doom, I think. Pretty damn good one. Killed a Marine or two, I think. Oh, one Marine. A Stone Guard veteran, though. Avatar's now in trouble. Very angry Space Elf going ballistic with his Providence. It's Lolgar, level 3. How can you only be level 3 with the amount of stuff that's died? That's pretty remarkable. Nice Ethereal Slash. But now the Providence is gone. What's he going to do? We have another elf going mental. Level 9, this guy. Wow. Guess he's killed a hell of a lot of stuff on that west side. As you get both of the angry space elves together and both do some Witchblade of Kurnus shenanigans. There's the great unclean one for Cornholio's got a tank up too, getting another Mark of Corn on it. Fierce fighting as red team tried to push through to this VP but can't quite manage it. Red team are taking that west side though. Lictor Alpha's capping it, I think, over there. Or is it you? Nope. You're trying to fight a great and clean one. It's not going to work out very well for you. Mr. Force Commander level 8. Is he going to get away? Those guys can also turn and shoot him, maybe take him out. But they are concerned with the Swarm Lord in their face right now. Lightning Claw Terminators will be warped out. There we go. Such a great tool to have. Knowing you can be aggressive with a unit. 2-to-1 cap for red team. Now something blue is contesting that west side, but we'll stick here in the middle. Oh, he's cancelled the Mark of Corn tank. He's gone for Mark of Zinch. And the Swarm Lord almost goes down. Whirlwind's been really annoying. Can't knock over the Wraith Guard though, I don't think. Wraith Guard needs to back the hell off it. Under attack from Terminators. I might need to retreat them. There we go. Avatar and Great Unclean One fighting side by side. 2-to-1 cap for red still. I think they're being knocked off the cap over here from the Devastator Plasma Cannon. Lictor Alpha level 8. Taking Fire Prism shots to the back, but he's alright so far. 120 to 94. Still continuing to try and push on this VP red. They're not happy with the 2-to-1. Looks like the Assault Terminators were subjugated at some point because they've gone back onto the end of Brother Hex's roster there. Down goes the Sorcerer. I think he was trying to subjugate again or something. Doing some weird animation. 105.94. Blue team looks like they are now decapping this west side. Warp Spider's helping them out with some teleporty action. Should be able to revive the Sorcerer pretty easily. Force Commander there going after this Predator tank with his fist using Flesh over Steel. Takes it down with a rear armor hit. Nicely done. That is why he went out of the hammer, to do things like that. Cornholio down to 2 units. Red team's roster's looking pretty damn strong. This is such a long, sustained push here. But they're kind of forgetting the west side. I mean, was it worth it? They did not get the VP. Inflicted losses, that's for sure. And there's certainly worth in that. Some late game Dire Avengers for Lomors to repair his Fire Prism, I imagine. Double Gene Stealer Broods from JACKA-VC. That's pretty cool to see. And a Swarm Lord to support him. That's going to be awesome for him. Still have this Swarm Lord up. He's done a hell of a lot of work for Entwined, who continues to preserve his units really well. Look at his population. He can't buy anything. He's got so much resources. He can't get anything else on the field. So that red team will take their sizable army to this west side. And can the blue team hold? Fire Prism will be really useful to stop caps, although it won't knock back Terminators. We'll knock back those guys though. Plasma Cannon hits. Lictor Alpha jumping in the back lines, gets on the rear armor of the Fire Prism, I think. That's what he's trying to do. Doing big damage with the Lone Hunter. Trying to formation to facilitate the push, and red team should easily be able to take that west side, I think. Another Predator tank for Cornholio, I think his third one. Needs to be careful though with the Power Fist Force Commander loitering around. Trying to keep his Fire Prism in play, doesn't want to get it too close though. Here comes that Force Commander again. I don't think he's noticed him going after it. That is a destroyed Fire Prism for sure. Double Eldritches. Didn't quite hit flush. A Dark Flames also, I think, going off. Did the Fire Prism survive? No, it didn't. Flesh over Steel made sure it went down. Cloud of Flies from the Great and Clean One. 79 to 47. 2-1 cap for red. They're in a good position here. Dodge those nukes. That could have been a game changer if they hit better. Warlock thrown aside. He's level 10, this guy. Level 6 for Lolgar, so he's leveled up quite nicely last 10 minutes or so. Great and Clean One warped out. Wailing Doom sending things flying. That's a level 3 Carnifex though. And now a las cannon's getting shots. 56 to 47 on the VPs. It's so close. That Force one has been really good. Level 9 now. I mean, he was pretty sloppy, Brother Hex, with his Land Red Redeemer's positioning, but he's recovered really well since then. Level 10 Warlock of Lomors trying to get in amongst the Devastators there. And he's found some to kill with Providence up. Might get one more hit he needs. He doesn't have a melee charge, of course, but he doesn't need it. Down they go. Now he's fighting a Lictor Alpha. Still the 2-1. Avatar might need some healing up. I think he's going back to base. Yeah, there he is. Alongside that Great and Clean One, they're going to have a chat while they heal. Boom. That guy's super dead. Dark Flames on the VP. Nicely done. Get them off the cap. Lictor Alpha's been really aggressive going after vehicles. Seems to think he has what it takes with this Silent Talons alongside Lone Hunter. If he can get on rear armor, it will do some work. Level 2 Seer Council. Cornholio, I think, maybe need some Havocs or Plague Marines up on this west side just to try and help out. Some las cannons will do some work and help keep the Swarm Lord at bay. But how do you deal with double Gene Stealers over here? When the Witchblade of Kernus isn't around. Lolgar is here, but Whirlwind disrupts him. Marcus Inch on the tank then. They need a bit more anti-vehicle, I think. Because these Swarm Lords and Carnifexes are starting to be really annoying. That guy's got a Barb Triangle, this guy's got a Venom Cannon. Here comes another Swarm Lord. Red team with a single cap. 19 to 47 is so close on VPs. Looks like the red team are going to take this. They're going to get a triple cap, I think. Blue team just couldn't withstand all of this pressure. It was pretty scary stuff. After they pushed against that Land Raider, they seem to be in a decent position, but Brother Hex recovered pretty damn well. And his Force Commander, choosing to go for that Power Fist, made some vital kills on vehicles over there. Level 10 Warlock, level 6 Sorcerer, Thermal Subjugation Robes, and the Rod. Level 7 Warlock over here down. Level 10 Lictor Alpha. Level 9 Force Commander and a level 5 Lictor Alpha. He's got Menacing Visage, Deadly Jump, and Corrosive Claws, and he got that cap on blue team's natural. Awesome 3v3. That massive sustained push in the mid by red team was great to see. And he inflicted a lot of losses, even though they didn't get to the VP itself. I think that's when Cornholio lost a bunch of stuff and struggled to recover from there. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.